We are SchoolMoney. Let me introduce you to how we can go cashless. Is now the time to go cashless? Yes, of course it is. Actually, it has always made sense for schools to be cashless, a solution that saves both time and money. But now, more than ever, it makes total sense for schools to reduce the number of visits parents make into school and the transfer of cash. All of these will not just help to limit the risks of COVID-19, but will also help to make your school more efficient going forward. With the use of an online payment system, you can offer a cash-free culture, which is creating a safer environment for both you, your parents, staff, and children, helping save everyone time. So let's explore together how, with a well-executed strategy, SchoolMoney can help you to achieve your cashless goals. So why go cashless? Why SchoolMoney? If you don't already have a cashless system in place, you should be considering the following reasons why our schools have embraced a cashless culture through the ease of use of our SchoolMoney online payment system. Time saving, cost, visibility, and convenience for parents are only some reasons that schools have chosen to go cashless. SchoolMoney was created with schools in mind, and through our user-friendly platform, you have essential functionality at your fingertips. You can create write-offs and instalments to manage any payment for any individual. You can pre-book clubs and dinners to efficiently manage food wastage and staff to pupil ratios. Our integrated text and email service notifies parents when a payment is due or reminds them when one is overdue. Consent and payment for parents is at the click of a button. And best of all, there are no trips to the bank, no counting cash, and no queues for parents in the morning when the focus should be getting children to school safely. So what is a payment system? What does it cover? That's a great question. Yes, our system aims to reduce cash, but also helps you with day-to-day management of your trips, clubs, dinners, and even a school shop. Manual cash counting and electronic spreadsheets will be a thing of the past with SchoolMoney. How easy is it to adopt? Well, let us show you how quick and easy you can manage and set up a trip payment. Over to my colleague Gemma for a quick lesson on setting up payments.
There are lots of different ways to manage your dinners through SchoolMoney. So I'm just going to take you through a couple of scenarios today in how the system could look to support you. Just know though that if we haven't touched on a way in which you're managing dinners at the moment, it's highly likely that we'll be able to support you due to the flexibility of the system. So what we'll start off with first is our basic dinner register. So if you're looking just to collect the income for your dinners and know who's having a paid dinner and who's having a packed lunch, this is a really great way to use SchoolMoney. And there are a couple of different ways that parents can actually pay for their dinners. So the first way that parents can pay is setting up a top-up in SchoolMoney. So the parents, in theory, would pay £10 or £15 each week, and then that will tot up through the system. Equally, we can set up a pre-booking system, a pre-book and prepay. So we can allow the parents to log into SchoolMoney and pre-book and prepay for the days where their child will be having a hot dinner. That's a really great way of reducing any credits and arrears in the system through the pre-booking and prepay. So just to explain what you can see here, this is the dinner register. So you can see the days of the week, Monday to Friday. We can see our student names. And we can also see the values in SchoolMoney that are totting up. So the system will automatically recognise credits and arrears in the system. What you can also see is a key here. So this key just displays the colourings within the register. So we can see who's a paid dinner, who's a free school dinner, who's a universal infant free, and who's a sandwich or a packed lunch. So this information can be pulled across from your MIS system, and if you're using Sims and have dinner patterns set up in the system, we can set that up in SchoolMoney as well. So all you would do is click on the day of the week and select all of the days, and this will automate the dinner patterns that you have set up in the system. Now, what you can also do is either, if you're booking your students in on a daily basis, on an ad hoc basis, you can just simply mark the register to reflect what everybody's having today. So lots of flexibility around how you can manage your dinners. Now, let's just say that a parent has pre-booked for a dinner, but the student is absent today. All you would do is come to the register, and on a paid dinner, this green dinner here, which Jane is booked in for, I can just double click that and remove the colouring. And by removing the colouring, the system will recognise that that student is absent today and not having a dinner. So this is how SchoolMoney can help you to manage the income of school dinners, so collecting your dinner money, and also recognising who's having a hot dinner and who's having sandwiches or a packed lunch. What we'll now move on to is the cashless catering till. And this is a great way of managing any dinner menu options that you have. So lots of schools that I speak to have a 3-week rotating menu. That's kind of the typical. And this is a great way of managing that. So again, this can be managed in one of two ways. Parents can pre-book, prepay and pre-choose any dinner menu options for their students. So they can actually have an overriding choice on what the student is eating that day and have access to your menus. But equally, something that we often find is that schools will simply collect the money from parents, but then allow the students the option to choose their dinners. And so I'm just going to talk you through that scenario. So what we often find is that teachers will have access to this cashless catering till, which you can see here. And they might pop this up on their interactive board in the morning when they're doing their registers. You can pop in photographs of your students, or you might have the students draw up their own portraits and upload that into the system. Just helps to engage with the students a little bit more. The teacher would find their class, so I'm on class blue at the moment, and they will see their student names here. So this is me. I'm going to click onto this student and I'll say, Gemma, what is it that you'd like to have for dinner today? And I might say, I'd love a lasagna, miss. Click on lasagna and check out. Paul has brought in a packed lunch today, so we'll just click on the packed lunch option and check out, and so on. So you go across the classroom deciding who's having what, and then this will feed through to the catering team, and we can pull off a report to show what dinner menu options we're having, who's a free school meal, a paid meal, a packed lunch. And so we have all of those different reporting features in the system too. Equally, in terms of distribution, lots of schools I speak to have a colour banding system. So they might allocate a colour to a dinner menu option. And so we can pull off a report in the system to help with your distribution.
But will parents actually use the new system? Absolutely. People are used to making online payments for day-to-day items. Haven't you noticed a change when you visit your local shop for a newspaper and they ask you to pay on card? For most people, cash is a thing of the past. What about the parents that want to use cash, I hear you say? We would hope all parents use the system from day one, but if not, don't let this be a barrier to you moving towards your desired cashless culture, because yes, you guessed it, we have a solution for that. On SchoolMoney, you can manage payments from home, school, and anywhere else. You have a completely flexible solution for all, complete with card payments in school, PayPoint, and you can even manage the odd cash transaction if you choose. Just take a look at our next video and we will take you through a little demo of card and cash payments in school. Due to current restrictions, we have to be flexible with our before and after school clubs. We have to manage numbers and know who is coming each day. That's not a problem. SchoolMoney can meet the individual needs of each school, managing all breakfast and after school clubs. Now, more than ever, flexibility is required and appropriate management of who is attending each session is also required. Gemma will give us a short overview of our breakfast and after school clubs module.
Let's talk about clubs. So generally, feedback that we receive from our schools in terms of the club area within SchoolMoney is that they really love the flexibility of the system. So I'm going to cover just a couple of scenarios or the typical scenarios that we find from schools in how they're using our club register. But rest assured, if there's a way that you're using or would need to use a system to support your clubs, it's likely that there's a way that we could support you. So we'll start with breakfast clubs. In terms of how the parents would manage clubs through SchoolMoney, you have a couple of different options. So the first option, in fact, both options are very similar to the dinners. So you can either set up a top-up fund, so parents would log into SchoolMoney and top up an amount each week, and then the system would automatically calculate any credits and arrears. Or we can set up a pre-booking system, which schools really love about the clubs. So parents could pre-book for half a term or a term's worth of clubs, and then you can just come in and slightly amend the register if students are absent or if they attend the clubs for a bit longer. So if you were booking students in on an ad hoc basis, this is our register. So we can see our student names, the days Monday to Friday, and our calculations for credits and arrears. We're on Wednesday, so I've marked a couple of students in already, but all you would do if you're booking them in on an ad hoc basis is just simply highlight the students in green who have attended the breakfast club today. Click save, and then the system will automatically calculate any credits and arrears. If parents were pre-booking, this register would simply pre-populate and you can come in and make any amendments. So let's say that Sally's mum has pre-booked Wednesday, but Sally's actually absent today or she's being picked up from school early. We can just simply click on the day to remove the colouring, and then that will register in the system that she was absent for that session. So that's the breakfast clubs. Let's talk about after school clubs. So we do have a bit more flexibility with the after school clubs. It's something that schools really love is that we can set up durations in the system. So we can set up to 10 different offerings within an after school club. For example, you might offer different durations and different pricing based on the time that the student is spending after school. So we might have a 3 till 4 session, a 3 till 5 session, a 3 till 6 session. We might even offer a session with a supper or a snack, and that might be costed slightly differently. So again, you can either book the students in on an ad hoc basis and just simply select in the register what option the student was there for today, or we can ask parents to pre-book and prepay for the club sessions. So that's the club register. Let's just head to some of the reports in SchoolMoney and talk about the club reports. So we have a club weekly summary, and this just gives you a simple breakdown of how many students are attending which clubs on which days. We have a club weekly report, and this is really handy as a bit of a register really, and to get an idea of what staff members you might need to have on that day for the club. So you can see on Tuesday, we can select the days of the week here and the week commencing, but on Tuesday I can see that we have these students who will be attending session 1. So session 1 just relates to whether that's a 3 till 4 or a 4 till 5 session if you're setting up more than one. And if I click print, we can actually print this off as a bit of a register, which we could then hand to a member of staff to tick off who's attended the session that day. We also have a club arrears report, and this is super handy and everybody's favourite. So if you are booking students in on an ad hoc basis, or you do end up accumulating some credits in arrears, you can chase those arrears at the click of a button. So this is just generating a report based on all of the overdue money that we have for clubs. I can see that we've got around £50 overdue. And if I click this chase overdue button, it will simply put together a text message and an email automatically, which we can send out to parents as a reminder that they owe us some money for their clubs. So hopefully you can see how quick and easy the system is to use and how flexible the clubs areas is. If you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch and we'll be happy to help.
Have you tried our £2.40 challenge? Why don't you challenge your staff and parents to find the cost of a dinner in change in under 60 seconds? Why 60 seconds? Well, that is the time it takes to request dinner money payment from your parent, and how long it would take your parent to make an easy online payment using our mobile app or desktop site. You'll be surprised at how much time an online payment will save you and your parents. We manage dinners differently in our school, so I don't think a system would work for us. Well, why not? SchoolMoney is not only flexible at managing types of payments, but we can also offer full flexibility when managing dinners to find a solution that suits you and your parents. We can offer simple dinner registers, set dinner patterns from your MIS, pre-ordered meals, to name but a few. Why don't we revisit Gemma to see what she has to say about the flexibility of our dinner money module?
Feedback that we regularly receive from our schools is how quick and easy it is to set up payments in SchoolMoney. So I thought today I'd show you how. All you do is click this Add button and select your payment type. So you'll see that we have a number of different payment types, but for today we'll set up a school trip. Something that schools really love about SchoolMoney is that you can set up various different bank accounts. So let's say that you have a bank account for your dinners, which goes directly to your catering company, and a separate bank account for everything else in school. We can set up both of those bank accounts in the system so that you can differentiate when setting up payments. We then pop in our description, which is what your parents would see when we invite them to pay for this trip. So they'll know that we're going to the zoo. And we pop in a reference for ourselves as a school, which we can refer back to in our reporting later. Pop in how much the trip is per child. So let's say that it's £20 per child for this zoo trip. And then we would select when the parents would be making payment by. So you'll see here that we can set up to 10 instalment dates, which is really handy if you have a larger payment like a residential trip. For today, I'll set up 2 instalments for this £20 payment and select the instalment dates. So I'm going to select the 20th of August and the 24th of September. We can also change the amounts. So if you had a payment where you wanted to offer a smaller deposit as the first payment and a larger second payment, we can do that. Next, we need to choose which students we're going to be inviting to the trip. So simply click on Manage Students. All of this information would be pulled automatically from your MIS system. So any classes that you have set up in your system, any year groups will pull through. I'm going to suggest that this is Year 1 students, add them into the payment and save. So that really is the trip set up. But before we start to invite our parents to make payment, there is a couple of settings just to highlight. So one feature that our schools really love is that you can ask parents to give consent before they make a payment for a trip. This helps to reduce paper wastage. We can also limit the number of places. So if you only had 10 spaces on the bus for this trip, it would book out on a first come, first served basis. Another feature that's really handy is Part Pay Online, and this just helps to provide flexibility for your parents. So rather than them having to pay a full £10 for each instalment, they can just pay in dribs and drabs. So £2 today, £5 tomorrow, so long as that £10 is paid off by the end date. Another area just to highlight to you, and a feature that's really popular with schools, is that we can also help you with your pupil premium tracking. So let's say that I am a pupil premium student, and actually as a school we want to contribute £10 towards this trip. I can double click on the payment and write off some of the payment. So I'm going to choose to write off £10. What's really great is you can pop in a reason for write-off. So I'm popping in a reason as pupil premium, and at the end of the academic year, or whenever you look at your pupil premium funding, you can actually pull off a report based on this reference. This often saves schools quite a lot of time. So the payment is now set up and ready to go, and I just want to invite the parents to make their payment. So I'm simply going to click on this text and email button, which will automate a text message and an email inviting our parents to make payment. To further help reduce with paper wastage, we can add attachments to this. So for the zoo, I might have an itinerary letter that I want to send out to the parents. I can simply add this as an attachment to the email that goes out to my parents. And that's it. Our messages have been sent out and parents can start making payments straight away. So I'm hoping that this has helped to highlight how quick and easy it is to set up payments in SchoolMoney. For many schools, the ability to take a quick card payment in the office is invaluable. And so we've made it super simple to do in SchoolMoney. What I'm going to take you through is the cashier tab in the system, and this is where you can take card payments over the phone or in the school office, and that's without a card reader. And you can also offer refunds to parents too. So all you would do is find your student's name. So I'm going to find myself, and these are all the payments that are associated with Gemma. I'm going to find a trip. So I'll find the zoo trip, and let's say that my mum's come into the office and she just wants to make a quick card payment because she knows that the payment is overdue. So you'll see here on the right hand side that we have £10 which has been paid already by the school, it's been written off, and we have £10 which is unpaid. So I'll simply select via the action drop down to pay by card. This is now a window which breaks down that card payment. So we can see that it's £10 that my mum would be paying. And what's really fab is that she will receive a receipt automatically through SchoolMoney to say that she's made this payment, which helps to reduce on paper and the time it takes often to handwrite receipts to parents. If I click OK, this will then take us to a window where we can pop in my mum's card details. And as I say, this could be done in the school office, or if you feel comfortable, it could be done over the phone too. Now with that, you may have noticed that we do have some other payment types. So we have the option to log checks, cash vouchers, bank transfers, all through SchoolMoney so that you can keep a clear audit trail. To show you how it looks if you were to take a cash payment, it's relatively the same. You'll also be emailed out a receipt for the cash payment. And if I click OK, you'll see that payment's now disappeared. So that's how you would take card and cash payments in the system. Separately to this, if you wanted to make a refund, it's also super quick. So let's say this payment that my mum's just made, actually we need to refund because the trip's been cancelled. Here on the action drop down on the right hand side, this is the payment that mum just made. I simply select make a refund, and because it was a cash payment that we logged in the system, it will ask to make either or give a cash refund or check. If it was a card refund, however, it would say card refund and it would automatically refund back to the card that originally made the payment. It's really easy. So hopefully that's helped to give you an overview on how we can support schools with taking card payments and also offering refunds.
Is your system easy to adopt into schools? It's more than easy. We provide full training and support for you to ensure that you are fully prepared to start your cashless journey. We arrange integration with your MIS so that you don't need to worry about adding data into SchoolMoney. Integration takes place initially and then on an ongoing basis. SchoolMoney is a simple solution when introducing the payment system to our parents. We have an inbuilt tech service which will get your parents online at the click of the button. Full user guides for your school and parents are also available. It's as simple as that. Schools can be up and running in a couple of days, so what are you waiting for? I think you'd agree, now is the time to go cashless. But don't just take our word for it, see what our customers have to say. Oliver Phillips, the finance director at the Equals Trust, has said the following. Equals Trust have implemented SchoolMoney across all of its primary schools and have reduced cash handling by nearly 95%. This system has created much needed capacity in our school offices, and with local banks closing, we now have a reliable system in place. Using SchoolMoney has also helped the Equals Trust develop and encourage a locally based finance structure, which has allowed schools to retain control and autonomy while achieving trust-wide efficiencies. Lorraine from Brook Voluntary Controlled Church of England Primary School also recognised that the cashless system led to more efficiency in the school. The office staff can now do their allocated hours without claiming overtime, she said. We have cut down on wasted hours on collecting money, counting it and banking it, and parents have become more efficient and reliable at booking meals in advance, which means less wastage for our online kitchen. Also, as mentioned by Lorraine, an online payment system can contribute to other factors such as the on-site kitchen. They have introduced a prepay and pre-order system where parents can view the school's daily menu, select meal options and pay in advance, creating a more knowledgeable and organised environment for the parent, but also impacting the kitchen in a positive way to help collate dinner numbers, resulting in the reduction of food wasted each day. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in going cashless with SchoolMoney, please visit our website or send an email to the email on screen so you can book a demo.